want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Don't label us left or right. Our American. Not looking for a war, but we came to fight. Our American. Somebody's gotta stand up. Stand up. Somebody's gotta do what's right. We're rising 'cause we're fed up. Got our house in order and got yours in sight. I am American. That's what I am. It's what I think and what I do. I am American. That's what I am. And I bleed red, white, and blue.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Super Dave Show. It is. Let me see, February 23rd. And the snow is melting, and it looks like it's going to be in the 50s today. So if you're coming to St. Louis, it's not a bad place to be compared to what it was last week. Last week was below zero, and it wasn't fun. So anyway, all right, I'm watching there. Now, you should be working. I'm doing something a little different today, and making sure it's working. So, am I stuck? Here, sleeping I am. Is this stuck? Am I like stuck on yours? I'm looking at mine. It doesn't. It's kind of stuck. It's like, what's that all about? So I don't know. Good morning. Where do I go? I'll tell you what. Yesterday is so depressing. To watch. After Trump. Now people have to understand. Working fine. Okay. People have to understand. Oh, that's why. Okay, you got to click it first. That's why. I haven't done it this way before because I'm kicked off of Facebook right now. We have to do it this way, and it actually works out pretty well. But can I make that a big screen? I'm just wondering. Let me see. Do it that way, full screen. Yeah, but then I don't get the comments. Okay, that's all right. I'm just double checking here. Anyway, yesterday. We had the Pennsylvania, I think it's a Pennsylvania case that was brought to the Supreme Court. And it's actually very simple. The legislatures were not involved in changing the voting laws. And so what happens? They just went ahead and did whatever they wanted to do. That was it. It's pretty disgusting, it really is. I got to post these two. Sorry about that. Let me go to the other ones here. Oh, boy. All right. One more. Where's it? Gab. Oh, where's the other one here? MeWe, Gab, and where's Parler? There it is. Okay. All right. Have to get it on a few of them here. So anyway, for those of you who are we're doing a little bit different today, like I said. So you have to go this way. It'll work. All right, but anyway, yesterday we had a deal where this is brought up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is supposed to rule on it. Now, John Roberts, we already know is slime bag. I mean, he just is awful, and it really does get old. It gets old. You have. Well, I did it the other way. I know I was trying to think of doing it the other way, but I don't want Wendy to lose her account. And somebody mentioned that if I did that, she could lose her account. So I don't want to do that. That's why we're doing it this way. Some people are looking, it's like, where is it? And people must adjust. That's all there is to it. Okay, back to what I was saying here. So here we got this case. And I'm gonna read this. It's really quite interesting by Newsmax. After the Supreme Court turned away 2 Republican appeals over Pennsylvania's mail-in ballot deadline changes, they did this on their own without the legislature. That's not how it's supposed to work, but they did anyway. So they brought this Supreme Court. That's the whole point of the Supreme Court. And 6 of the justices, there's 9 of them, One of them bailed out. That was Amy Barrett. And she said, well, that was before she was appointed. I don't get that. I really don't get that. But that's before she was appointed. It really bothers me. It said, did not take cases that preceded her swearing in. And so these other people have let me see, Kavanaugh and who else is there? And Justice Roberts. They just said, no, we're not going to listen to this. It's a legal case, and they said, no, we're not going to do this. And I give Clarence Thomas so much kudos here, because Clarence Thomas will say, no, this is crazy. This is not how it should work. This is not how it should work. So, anyway, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed by Republicans, and I'll get into what happened last night a little bit too. But anyway, back to this. After the Supreme Court turned away, Justice Clarence Thomas issued a blistering dissent against the decision to reject the case, and he says, "One wonders that what this court waits for. We failed to settle this dispute before the election and thus provide clear rules. Now we again fail to provide clear rules for future elections." Now, a lot of people, and I understand why, a lot of people are going to say, well, it was Donald Trump that put Kavanaugh and Amy Barrett in place, and he's right. You would be right. But, the thing is there's, I don't think people understand how absolutely huge the federal government is. And the problem with the federal government is that it's so big that nobody can really keep up with everything that goes on. So I know this is important, but you get these people that come to the president, and you're hoping they know what the hell they're doing. But this happens all the time, and then they stab them in the back. So anyway, the decision to leave election law hidden beneath a shroud of doubt is baffling. 3 conservative judges, Justice Thomas, Alito, and Gorsuch, sought to hear the cases, while Chief Justice John Roberts sided with liberal judges. Nothing unusual there. Or is it here? Justice Amy Barrett did not take part on cases that preceded her swearing in. By doing nothing, we invite further confusion and erosion of voter confidence. Our fellow citizens deserve better and expect more from us. And he's right. He's right. The rebuff leaves intact a Pennsylvania Supreme Court ruling that allowed 3 extra days for ballots to arrive in November because of the pandemic. The pandemic was a false deal anyway. As we all know, it was a lie. It was an absolute lie. So, good morning there. There he is. So, Republicans filed the appeals in October before the election. Supreme Court declined to intervene before November 3rd election. Eventually won by Joe Biden, but 3 conservative justices indicated at the time they thought the state court had overstepped. Now, I'm not an attorney, thank God for that, but this isn't a hard thing to figure out. Now, we already know Justice Roberts is compromised, and I think Bush knew that when he put him in there, because it was Justice Roberts that made sure Obamacare went through. The court's 3 liberal justices, Stephen Breyer, Sonia Sotomayor, and Elena Kagan, have backed the power of both state and federal judges to ease voting restrictions, particularly during the pandemic. The provisions of the federal Constitution conferring on state legislatures, not state courts, the authority to make rules governing federal elections would be meaningless if a state court could override the rules adopted by the legislature simply by claiming that a state constitutional provision gave the courts that. This is garbage. Alito's right, but what they've done is just garbage. And that's what happens we have absolutely allowed the leftists to win. Last night there was I was with my friend Alan, who I guess is listening, and some of the other people. But I was listening to my friend Alan, and one of the gentlemen there said, "Well, we need to read more and all that," and I was like, "What do you mean we need to read more?" It's like, what the hell do we need to get pissed off? I can't stand to read anymore. Why would anybody, seriously, want to have to read more? Well, if you read this or read that, it's like, while you people, and I called them out, while you people are watching this, reading everything, our country's being ripped off. At what point are you so pissed off that you're going, this should never happen? I don't get that. I really don't get that. Why is it? I'm dead serious. Why is it that we allow the left to win at everything? Let's talk about the media. We have Republicans, and I have scolded some of my friends. Don't waste your time talking to these people. Don't give them any ammunition. Because, number one, and I mean no offense, but number one, if you're really not attuned to how to talk to the media, you think you are. No, you don't. Whenever I talk to the media, I don't give them a damn thing. I give them nothing. If they interview me, I give them nothing. I give them, for instance, like I said, if they come to me and they say, like they did during the COVID garbage to start out with, they turned around and said, now, wait a minute. Aren't you concerned about all these people that are dying? And that's a setup question. Now, most people are going to answer that question and be apologetic and defensive and the rest of it. And I just said, I'm concerned about everybody. I'm concerned about the people losing their businesses. I'm concerned about the people losing their jobs. I'm concerned about freedom. And that gave them nothing because, it'd be different if I said something to feed them. If I was to say, well, I am concerned about all those people. And then the concentration goes to them. And that's why. That's exactly why you can't do that. So anyway, why talk to the media? So we've lost to the media. We've lost to the left. Well, the left we never were with anyway. We've lost to, here's a big one, corporate America. Corporate America that works with, they have lobbyists. The lobbyists work with the whore politicians. Now, there is a difference between a Josh Hawley and a Kinzinger or Mitch McConnell, the rest of them. There is. But, I want to show you the difference in what we have here. These disgusting pigs that we have in charge, and this is why we call it real Republicans. These disgusting pigs can't even stand up to big tech. But I will tell you, in Australia, they put their foot down. And they said no. So in an extraordinary backflip, Facebook announced Tuesday it will reverse its block on Australian users sharing news on its site and accept proposed government media bargaining laws that force it to pay for content. You know what that tells me? That tells me at least the government of Australia is working a lot better for the people than ours. Ours is useless. Our government works against us. They go, hey, we got these jobs. Let's send them over to China. Let's send them to India. Let's send them to Mexico. Let's send them to everywhere else. The hell with the American people. Is that really what we want? Well, we can reinstate the Constitution. I got to tell you, my friend Alan did a great job last night with this meeting. He went into it, and it's really sad. The establishment Republicans, the ones that we can't stand. The meeting I was at last night, there are a lot of people there who don't like me. I don't care. But the established Republicans are like, why are we worried about the schools? And Alan stood up and said, let me tell you right now, we have to take our schools back. And he went through a mishmash of stuff that goes on in our schools, and three candidates got up and did a really good job. Wendy did a good job. And I said that because she was nervous. But, it's look, I can tell you right up front, getting up in front of people used to petrify me. As you know, it doesn't petrify me anymore. In fact, give me the microphone. I'll do 2 hours with no problem. I'll do longer if I have to. But the bottom line is that you have to learn those things. But anyway, back to what I was saying. And I have to tell you, after Alan gave his little spiel about it and said, we have 3 people running for school board, they got an applause. The previous people there didn't even want to go there. All they want to do is concentrate on the national election. Didn't even really care about the state elections so much. Never cared about the local elections. The local elections in our area and a lot of areas are what they call nonpartisan. And please, give me a break. There's no such thing as a nonpartisan election. Anyone that thinks that is drinking the Kool-Aid big time. You're right. That's a good one. Learned indifference. People forget that or never learned that states are sovereign and we must influence state legislatures. This is why Real Republicans is there, because if we take over legislatures, the problem with too many voters is that they're only concerned about president and president and Speaker of the House and their congressmen and senators. They're not even concerned about that as much. They think everything stops with the president. Well, it doesn't. We are sovereign. Our states are sovereign. We have states' rights. Now, I would, Ronnie, I think you would agree with me 100%. If there's any amendment we need to get rid of immediately, and we did it with the whatever amendment it was for drinking, for alcohol. We need to get rid of the 18th Amendment, which is where the states elect the senators. We need to get rid of that because the senators, by the original Constitution, how many people really know this? How many people know that originally the senators were appointed by the legislatures? Most people don't know that. But they go, oh, no, we want to keep it the way it is. No, we don't. Did you know that most legislatures are Republican? They are. 17th Amendment. Thank you. I get it right yet. It seems like I said 17th last time and you said 18th, so it's 17th Amendment. Thank you very much. I should know those things, but I don't. I can't remember everything, and you know it. But anyway, it's so important that we go back to states' rights. And when the federal government passes one of these stupid laws, we just look at them and we go, we're not doing that. Every county in the state of Missouri needs to go ahead with, say, Second Amendment laws that they're going to try to push out of Congress. They need to say, if you come here, we're going to arrest you. They can do that. The federal government cannot force most laws on the states. They cannot do it. There's so much the states can do, but unfortunately, we don't do that. Well, you're a great help. That's why. But back to what I'm saying, if we do our job as we should as voters. Now I was scolding some of the people there in a way, my own little way. And I said, and in fact, Alan brought it up. He says, when only 10 to 12% of the people show up to vote in the April primary April elections, not primary, the April elections, which is local elections and some of the bond issues and all that stuff. And also the, what is it? Also the, darn. The board members and the local, locals. then we can make a difference. But when you got 10 and 12%, that's embarrassing. We have this thing called freedom. We're expecting our government to do what we tell them, but you don't even have the damn guts to go there and vote? Give me a break. You're right. Voters don't understand that the Constitution limits the federal government, not the state government. Do you realize that the Constitution, that most people don't even realize that the Bill of Rights are amendments to the Constitution? I know some smart people, and they go, oh, no, it isn't. No, they're the first 10 amendments, the most important amendments in the Constitution. Then they started adding stupid ones. Good morning there. So there we go. We have all these people, and they won't even bother to go to the April elections. I am embarrassed. And here's something else, too. Republicans better get off their asses in so many ways. In fact, the other day, I got to tell you something. I'm very observant, and for those of you that are going to hear this, you're not going to like this if you're guilty. Someone was like, "Well, I can't afford to give $10 to real Republicans. $10 a month is nothing. It shows you're doing something. But they have enough money for the drinks and the food and all the rest of the stuff. See, when you put it's all talk. If you get there and all you do is just talk about it, and you say, well, I can't afford this, but you can afford the other things, I guess your freedom is way down the list. I'm sick to death, and I'm sorry if you're that person, you're mad at me, I don't care. Because if you're not part of the solution, that's your problem. It really is. Yeah, minority make a decision, majority, and see most voters are happy with that. It's very sad. The reason we end up with the same scumbags in November is because people, they do show up better for the primaries, but there should, in my estimation, there should be probably more people showing up for the primaries than even the general election. Because if certain people, honestly, this is where we go. If certain people make it, let's say Roy Blunt makes it from the primary to the general election again. I don't want to vote for a son of a bitch. I just don't want to. I can't, and I won't. That's the one time I will vote for. What's the difference? What the hell's the difference? I've said this for a long time, and some people don't like it. If you're going to act like a Democrat, then vote for a Democrat. And we have far too many. But we have to start in the state legislatures. That's where we really have to start. Because if we just stick with the federal government, that's all we care about, then then what you're doing is say, well, we're losing, so we'll go ahead and let them have all the power. I want the guy that I can see. I do, in Blaine Luke. Well, right now Ann Wagner's my congresswoman. Used to be Blaine Luetkemeyer. I never see them in public, but guess what? I see the other ones in public. I see them at the store. I'm talking about the state legislatures. I see them at the store. I see them at other places. So why can't we be more concerned about that? And like Ronnie was saying, because he knows what's going on, like some of us, the states have the rights. States' rights. We want states' rights back. There's the biggest, I'm telling you, the biggest one we have to change is the 17th Amendment and put the state legislatures back in place. Give the states a voice, because right now, it's not the state legislature. As much as we may not like, and this is so true, the current federal politicians, as you can tell, they laugh in your face. They don't give a damn about you. In fact, Ellen had a great point that, okay, if the federal level says you don't need voter ID, then you have two ballots. You say, okay, no federal ID if you don't need it because what Congress has done, then as far as we're concerned, we'll have a separate ballot for state and federal. That's what we need. And then when the federal government comes to you with their bullshit, then you look at state government that you elected, looks at them and says, not in our state. We're a sovereign state. You're not going to force $15 an hour and stuff like that. They have no right to do that. But if we, why are we allowing this? And there's something else last night that really kind of drove me. One of the women there, and I won't mention her name, but I'm sorry, brain dead as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, she made a point. A couple of the people agreed, and I used to be there. We need term limits, and I have to say something. I got up and I said, we have term limits. We have term limits, and you want the government to do something else? So when we have a Jim Neely or a Brian Spencer or a Paul Kurtman or some of the really good people, and you want to just kick them out? You want to say to hell with it? No, they can still be there doing what they do, and we can be adding, but we're not. Well, but what about those other ones? Vote them out. Vote them out. And by the way, to be fair, in Missouri, you can't even get your own people right. You've got a bunch of lame, progressive, so-called Republicans, phony Republicans. But you have been fooled, and that's your fault. So you don't want, it drives me nuts. It really does. That same group of garbage that we call politicians, and I'm telling you, every single one of them that jumped on the Greitens train to get rid of them, and I don't care what you think about Greitens. I really don't care. It's what they do when they're in office. That's what counts. But when that garbage worked with the garbage in the city, I'm talking about politicians, and removed the governor that the citizens elected, they removed him. Oh, you can say he resigned. They put some more pressure on that. I know that the people in government already knew about his affair. And then the phony woman in our county says, but he was straying on his wife, and we don't need that. You know what? That's between he and his wife. It's between him and his wife. And if you really think that it's your business, besides that, if that's the case, then let's give each and every politician a lie detector test and see where we are. We'll probably get rid of 90% of them. Yeah, there's a few in there that aren't playing, but I guarantee you there's more than you know. And don't you love the hypocrites that go in there and they say, let's take this guy out. Our reason is for this. And they found out. And it was all done long before. I mean, not long. It was done before he was governor. But no, we're going to stick our nose in it and get rid of somebody that was actually doing the right thing. Public office should not be a prize of honor to be sought, but a duty and a service to be accepted. You're right. Right now, we have put politicians in a place which I think is disturbing. When I look at a politician, I don't look at him as like, oh my God, he can save us. I look at a politician as that man works for me, and I want to make sure he does the right kind of stuff he should be doing for our state and our area. By the way, the politicians are supposed to represent their constituents. And if you have one that's pushing mail-in voting, I would tend to think, if the people would get their heads out of their butts, that you would know that that person's doing it, but they aren't. And you know what? To be fair to them, I get it. Because on the right, we have no unity. We're working on it with Republicans. We are. But that's what we have to do. I want to go back to Facebook a little bit here because right now, as most of you people know, I'm doing it this way because I was banned on Facebook for 30 days. I got a long ways to go. You know what? This works great. People get used to this. This works great. Probably have less problems with it. And then this way, people go here and they can all see the comments. It's not bad. Actually, I kind of like it. But anyway, back to what I was saying here. We have so many people out here that we can make a difference, but if we don't show up to vote, if we don't vet our candidates, and stop making excuses for not getting involved. I mean, it's pathetic for people that aren't getting involved. Or their involvement, when I say involvement, actually want to do something. Their involvement is, hey, when's the next meeting? And when we're done, we'll go eat and drink, and that's it. I'm being hard on people because I'm sick to death of people showing up for the fun part and not there to put their money where their mouth is. And, I'm sick to death of people doing that. And, my friend Linda's here and Ronnie, and they put their time and effort in, their money. They do that. There's some of us that put a lot of time in this. I put more time in this than my own business right now. She says, I take it the Republic meeting was fun last night. Well, our good friends, the Goods, were there, and a few others. And, I got to tell you what I did, because you know me, I don't hold back. Right behind me was Judge Missy and Coleman, Jeff Coleman. So Coleman couldn't wait to get out, and he says, hey, I make a motion, we adjourn. Couldn't wait to get out of there. So he gets up and he puts his mask on. And I want to tell you exactly what I said to him. And I know some people like this. I looked at him and said, what's a mask for? He says, well, it's your business. I said, what a pussy. He goes, well, I don't want to confront him. But I said, you work with it. You're a judge. You work with confrontation. Are you kidding me? And I shamed him. I don't care. So, Alan, I'm sorry, but I had to do that. But guess what he did? He walked out without his mask on. Because I'm tired of being nice. Let's stop playing pussyfoot here. Let's start being real Americans, real conservatives. Nobody wore a mask in there, but, we're going through there. You know what? There's no mask mandate in the damn county. You're a judge. What the hell's wrong with you? Yeah, Linda, you know me. I didn't hold back. I let people have it because it's really funny. I used to sit in these meetings. I did. I know people find it hard to believe, and I'd be very quiet. But you're going to hear me at every meeting. I always talk now. I always say something. I can't wait to get it out. But I know Alan's probably listening right now. Alan, you did a great job. You did a great job last night. By the way, if you want to text me, you could text me too. Some people do text me because they can't get on. But let's see. No, I'm not offline. Okay. All right. Let me tell somebody. Go to superdaveshow.com. Go to superdaveshow.com. There you go. All right. Anyway, that's our friend Connie. She listens while she's driving. A lot of people do that. Some people listen when they're there. We're wusses. I mean, when you've got my friend Linda, she always makes fun of her husband. It's funny because she goes, he puts that damn mask on and take that stupid thing off. I love it. Well, you're right. We have judges that won't stand up. Are you kidding me? I am tired of here. You know what? I'm going to start calling these people. That's what we ought to start doing. If they have a mask on, let's look at them now and say, oh, you're a phony Republican. Now, they'll say, well, I'm not worried about choice. It's like, why are you wearing it? Well, because there's a sign at the door. All right, every time you're driving on the highway, here you go. Here's a great way of looking at it. When you're driving on the highway and the speed limit is 55 and you're doing 60, I want you to pull your car over and give yourself a ticket. That's really what it is. The sign's there. Unless somebody calls you out, who cares? We're not talking, it's so ridiculous. I mean, in the county, in most counties in Missouri, there is no mask mandate. In our county, as a mask order means nothing. My friend Sheriff Marshak said, "Well, I'm not doing anything with that." But we have a few people in the we have a few people in the local government here who won't stand up for us. Yeah, so if it's time to jump off the cliff, you're right. You know, it reminds me when I tell some police officers that say, well, you know, I get orders, and I said, okay, if you do everything they tell you, so if your superior says those 3 people over there, just shoot them. You gonna do it? Well, no, I'm not gonna do that. Why? It's wrong. I'm not supposed to. It's against the law. Well, what makes you think you're supposed to doing that? You know, it's against Constitution to do some of the stuff you're doing right now. You're supposed to adhere to the Constitution first. But if your superior is giving you an illegal command, you tell him what he could do with his command. I have to tell you, I probably one of the reasons I didn't stay on for a long time is because I had superiors try to tell me things that I need to do. And I look at him and was like, why am I doing that? You know, I'm sorry. I'm not a good hypocrite. I'm just not. So I hope people do understand that. All right, did you get that there, Connie? Did you get that? Okay, now she's got it. Congratulations. Yeah, somebody got mad the other day because I'm not picking on them. They're good people, but and I'll pick on them for what really counts. But they're always late, and it's like, I can't believe you pointed me out. I was like, don't be late. I was there that day. I was like, yeah, but you know, if the time is supposed to be 3:00, look, you have to understand, or 1:00. I am a very punctual person. Somebody I live with knows that for sure. If we're supposed to be somewhere, I like to be there, not just on time, but early. That's me. I don't like to be late. It drives me nuts if I'm late for anything. It just does. So anyway, and you know what? I'm kind of enjoying this in a way without Facebook stuff in a way. I wonder how many. The one thing about it too is I don't think you get so many nutcases too. You know, we do. I wonder if I get any more calls today from Mar-a-Lago. I don't know. Hey, Nikki, do you think that... Well, I don't know. It could have been. Maybe Trump was calling me. That was it. Absolutely right. You know, Ronnie says on time is 15 minutes early. I never understood in the business I had, 8:00 was, say, the time to get there. If you weren't there at least by 10 minutes early, you were late because you're not ready to go to work. The people that walk in at 8:00 or a little bit after, then they have to get themselves settled. They're actually screwing with the people. They really are. All right, we have some new things there. Good morning. Not sure who you are. And by the way, Alan, I have to confess, the gentleman who was there last night, I'm terrible at names. And if you would, text me that name. The gentleman who was collecting the 50-50 money, if you would let me know that, because I'm terrible at names. He was actually at a couple of the protests and all that stuff. But, you know, I actually talked to him, and he says, I got a bunch of people that would love what you're doing. And not that he doesn't like the Republican Club. The Republican Club is limited in what it can do. We're doing other things, and we need both. We do. Some people won't like me up there, and some people, well, everybody likes Alan. So no, but I think some people like the way I go after people, and I don't. You know, it's funny because I am not nice about it. I don't care. I was talking to a minister last night at the meeting, a really nice man, and I told him, I said, you know, it's really interesting because I have my issues with religion, not God, with religion, and we talked. He was really kind. And I said, you know what my ministry is what I do here with the Republicans. I'm trying to get good people involved and get them off their butts. And because we were talking about the fact that you have ministers there. Yeah, this is religion. This is what drives me nuts. They're more concerned about their tax status than they are about their country. Well, I can't be telling the parishioners that even though abortion is wrong, that they shouldn't be voting for a Democrat who believes in abortion. Well, that's true. That tends to take away. But you know what? He didn't say much of anything last night, and I said things. What I spoke, what meant something. I think Alan would agree, and the people were there. It meant something because I don't. I was calling people out. I said, you know what? We got 3 people here. Every person should be helping these people out instead of just throw it in their lap and say, "Well, good luck, and I hope you win, and I'll vote for you." But they keep their dollars in their pocket. Don't do a damn thing. That's wrong. And that's what cheap ass Republicans do. Pardon me, I get into it. It just really crazy. Oh, Perry County Charlie. Okay, I had to think about it for a minute there. 426. Interesting. So anyway, that's where we are. So if people understand, it's really interesting. There's a few people I have that I know I can talk to, and it's really weird. They're all like my age or a little bit older. Because I think we get it. I really do think we get it. Not everybody's my age, but I think we get it. And our job, by the way, is to teach others and not hold back. I don't mind being the hard one. I mean, that's what I do. And if I offend someone, then if it hurts, then you better understand that maybe it hurts for a reason. And when I told the minister this, I said, yeah, this is what I do and all that stuff. I said, I'll be honest with you. I got the whip and chair and I go after people. He goes, good for you. He says, they need it. It was really funny. He said they need it. But he was going after, because I told him, I said, any pastor that's more interested in their tax status than they are about the very country they're in should be gone. I'm sorry, they don't deserve that collar they're wearing. They just don't. If teachers were doing their job teaching biblical principles, they wouldn't need to say anything about politicians. You're right, because I do know. I grew up in a Lutheran school. I went to a Lutheran school for 10 years, and it's our job. It's our job. You know what happens? Too many so-called Christians think their only job is to show up at here's what a lot of Christians do. And I don't mean to pick on them because there's some good ones. A lot of good ones. But they go to church on Sunday and they're done. And I used to joke around and say, I told a pastor this one time. I said, why don't you, because at the beginning of the Lutheran service, if there was a day of communion, they would go ahead and forgive them all their sins. And then you watch those same, they'd be there. It's like, I swear, it's like they're sitting there going, all right, all that stupid crap I did to everybody, he's going to forgive me. Whew. Goodness. All right, I'm clean slate. All right, I don't have to worry about it anymore till next week. Time to get out of here. That's what I felt like it was. I said, why don't you at least wait till the end of the service? This is kind of a joke I had with him, with one particular minister. He says, that's probably a good idea. I said, yeah, because they think that once you forgive them all their sins, that they're done. They go out and sin all day long for the next week, and they'll come back. That's why they go to church, so you forgive them their sins. I said, I always thought maybe how you are every single day of your life was much more important. And he goes, you're absolutely right. That's what it is. I think the only reason some of them stuck around the rest of the service is they didn't want to be embarrassed, kind of like not wearing a mask. And the other one was because they want to drink the wine. That would be Linda. Nominal Christians or prosperity Christians. You're right. You're on target today, Ronnie. You're right. We have way too many people out there who are. I even said, look, for me, if it works for somebody, that's great. But I really have a problem being around hypocrites. I just do. It's really bad. Well, there she is. I see you there. Let me see. Where are you now? How did you get on? I got to see there. She's on. Where are you here? Are you on MeWe or what? I'm looking. I don't know. I'm just learning. You found the app. Oh, okay. Okay, good. You know what? We'll find it. We'll find it. And we missed you. We were hoping to see you, but I still haven't got a date yet. Date that we'll have our next meeting, but we will. And Mr. Ronnie, I have some other people down in your area. We need to talk because I would love for you guys to put a group together and maybe get things going down there. Every county counts. Get it going. I'll be glad to drive down there. I miss seeing you anyway, and you know I'll drive down there and I'll be glad to speak. Got called to work. What? No, it's all right. Don't worry about it. Look, you're there. You're there, and you know everyone I'm looking at has contributed. They care. And like I said, I really don't care who I make mad when it comes to that because, don't just be full of garbage. Don't just be full of bull because I don't do bull very well. Preachers be like, show me the money. Yeah, you got that right. You be like, what was it? James River Assembly? Oh, yes. But this is church to some extent, in a different sort of way. It is. And people give automatically to churches because they're supposed to. Isn't that convenient how that works out? They're supposed to. Joyce Meyer. What about Joyce Meyer? Now, by the way, the gentleman, Rick Lambert, and I want to mention these people's names. Rick Lambert, Jacob Monkey, and Wendy Moore are all running. If you're in this area, let me see. Jacob is running in the Northwest School Board. And I have to tell you one thing, that kudos to Alan for this, because after he mentioned this, they applauded the people running. Oh, show her the money? You know what, though? I don't consider her in the same place I consider Osteen, because I'll put it this way. I don't mind. I know some people work there, and they really think she's a great gal. But here's why I'm gonna differ with some of that, because she says she has this stuff for sale. But I don't watch her. I've seen her a few times. I've never seen her beg for money, unlike a lot of them. We need to have money because we're going to do this and do that. I've never seen her do it. She just has stuff. If when they buy it, they buy it. That's what I know about her. So, yeah, I don't know how much you know about her. That's what I know about her. And actually, I've seen a few things she's done. And I got to tell you, she's on target with a lot of it. She really is, because she goes with her real-life experience, which I think is very important. I always was impressed with a minister. I was always impressed with a minister who would bring real-life experience to what we have. I'm not getting the religion thing. I'm just saying that's when I get, because some of them would talk about what happened 4,000 years ago. Okay, fine. But I want to know how you can take that and parallel with today. And in fact, I got one for you right here. How do you take what they've done? Okay, how do I do this? How do you take what they've done and use it for today? I'm trying to figure out how I can say this. And you can use that experience, kind of like with what we're doing here. Kind of like what we're talking about. Churches want the money and that's all they care about and stuff. And she does reach a lot of people. Look, out of all the ones out there, I have more respect for Joyce Meyer personally, unless you know something I don't know. I have more respect for her than I do a lot of people, because I swear to you, I've never heard her go in there and say, we need you to send money here and there. Like some of those other clowns. I mean, some of those other clowns, it's like, let's put it this way. Compared to Osteen, she has a shack compared to him. I mean, yeah, she is in a beautiful house, but she doesn't have an estate like Osteen and so many of the other ones. They've got estates that are just unreal. She's not faking it by trying to heal people and go through all that stuff. She's not doing that. So that's really, that's where I see the difference. So all right, I'll cut the crap with that, but that was it. But I know some people like her, and that's why they like her. And so I just Actually, I don't know did you know she grew up in South St. Louis too? She did. Okay. Right. She doesn't ask for love gifts. No, she doesn't. No, at least I haven't seen it. Maybe she has. She has. But I have to tell you though, I have met some of the people I've met that actually work there. One of them is Rick. He's running for school board. Very solid person. I respect him, and I don't go there, so I don't know. But I know some people that do, and there's some that are really good. It's really interesting because I've always said if it helps someone, then I'm okay with it. It really does. I mean, if a lot of that stuff doesn't help me, I'm pretty. I'd like to think I'm pretty solid. Some people may not think so, but I like to think I'm pretty solid. So, anyway, see right there. Oh, goodness gracious! Hey, guess what? Megyn Kelly is going after Mario Cuomo. Now, I find it interesting. This is why it's so hard for me with Megyn Kelly. And Megyn Kelly, as you know, was not a Trump fan.
But there's a Democratic
Let me.
legislator. This is a state rep. His name is Ron Kim. He's a Democrat. Okay, he's a Democrat assemblyman here in New York, and he came out and is publicly on television and otherwise detailing alleged threats from Governor.
Well, that's not working like I hoped, but anyway, Megyn Kelly was going after Mario Cuomo, and I think that's a great thing. I really do.
Cuomo. Okay, I'm actually reading Mediaite right now.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to play that. There's no video to it anyway, but she was talking to someone. I can't remember who it was here. She was talking to someone and going after Mario Cuomo. And that's just it. They're starting to go after some of these people, and I think it's great. I think it's great they're going after some of these people. It's something I was watching yesterday. I never understood. We're hearing about the vaccinations and all these people getting vaccinated. Now, I know all my listeners here, my viewers here, are getting vaccinated. I think I'm joking, believe me. The one thing I love about you people is that you don't wear a mask and you have no desire to be vaccinated. You need to look into biblical historicism to see how things have happened in ancient past applied to today. Well, no, you're right about that. But, a lot of times they don't use that. That's when when they do that, I like it when they say, and this is how it works today. That's what I go with. So we're on the same planet there. We are. So, all right. One other thing I saw today was really good. And I've been saying this for years, and I would bet you damn near every listener we have here, or viewer right now we have here, would agree with this. We have to change who we are attracting in the Republican Party. With Trump made it more of a blue-collar party. Now, obviously the unions are in bed with the Democrats. This is where a lot of union people, and this is why it's really stupid. I'm calling you stupid if you go after union people all the time. There's a lot of union people out there who are slowly coming over because they're finding out that it was Trump, it was the Republicans that said we need to have good jobs because most union people want to work hard for a living. They do, and oh God, and so they are flocking to the Republican Party. And I was talking to a friend of mine about this. I have to be careful if I say who it is because he's kind of a plant I have. Somebody, a spy. I have spies, trust me. And I can't say certain things about him because otherwise people may find out and they won't tell him things. But we were talking about it, and he said, Dave, you're on the right track. He told me this a couple of years ago. I narrowed it down to a guy. He said, there's a lot of blue-collar Democrats that would love to be Republicans, but they don't like the same people you don't like. And that also gave me a real reason for Republicans. So what we want to do is get as many of those people, the blue-collar people, whether they be union or not, we need to respect each other no matter what. Look, my son is a union guy. My good friend Charlie Grodick is a union guy. So, for us to throw unions out is ridiculous. We just have to get those people there. And then when we do that, they'll stop voting for these idiots they have in charge. The union leadership makes their money no matter what. And they're being bought up by they're getting their money from the union dues, and they find all ways to do it. I was listening to one person, and he said, "You know how unions do this, don't you?" And I don't pay much attention to unions. He was saying that I'm reading your. I shouldn't be doing that, but he was saying that since they can't take some of the money that they get from Republicans and give it directly to a candidate, what they do with that money is they buy things, and then they sell them, and then take that money and give it to Democrats. See, as I tell people, there's always a way around. Always. Always. And one other thing I'm going to tell you right now before I get to Ronnie's comment there, I hear more Republicans who agree with me on one other thing, and that is that we can't play nice anymore. Now, as you know, I haven't played nice for a while. You people, most of you people out there, besides that woman, you're a lot nicer than I am. You know who you are. And that's just the way it is. Chuck Schumer had the audacity to tell Texas that he hoped they learned their lesson after their smoke. Isn't that the party of love and tolerance? That's what I understand. Democrats are the biggest hypocrites that are out there. They are the biggest hypocrites, no doubt about it. Did you hear about Senator Warren's Section 3? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Of the NDA, National Defense Authorization Act. No. But there are a lot of things that Democrats are doing. Do you know there's been over 50 executive orders in a month from Joe Biden? And do you know he probably doesn't even know most of them that he signed? One of the executive orders was, we can't call. I mean, you talk about First Amendment. We can't call the China virus what it is. We can't say China virus. Remember when we call the Hong Kong flu and all these other things? What about swine flu? Wasn't that offensive to pigs? Warren's bill would require these Confederate soldiers to be exhumed. Oh, my God. No! Warren's bill would require these Confederate soldiers to be exhumed and moved out of Arlington. Ronnie, that's where we can't be nice. That's where when they start pulling this crap, I will be glad to lead the charge. I'll be glad to go to jail for it. I'm dead serious. We lead the charge and we go there and say, leave these people alone. And anyone in the military that was to do this, if you get orders to do this, you better look at your people, you better look at your commanders and tell me if you think you agree with me. You need to look at your commanders and say, there's no way that I'm going to do this. I don't know if I can open up without losing it here. There's some of us that go. Some of us are awful brave or stupid. But you know what? I have no problem going up to a police officer, military guy, whatever, and say, don't tell me you're going to do something unconstitutional here. Don't you dare dig up that man's grave. If that's the case, then there's a lot of politicians that I would be glad to go have them dug up and put their bodies where they really belong. You know, look at the funeral. Look at the funeral that they gave that slimy son of a bitch, George Floyd. Oh my God. You know what? If I said that on Facebook, I'd be taken off. The one thing I do like about these platforms is I'm not taken off for saying what I think. I think it's pathetic. Also supported. Well, wait a minute. You think that's shocking that Republicans supported this language? I don't at all. Because they're not real Republicans, they're phonies. Instead of calling Republicans phony Republicans, we'll call them phonies. They're the phony party. They're not the Republican Party. We are the real Republican Party. They saw what it said during their committee markup sessions and decided to vote for it anyway. Wow, the guts they have. Was that in the Senate or the House? And by the way, who voted for it? I want to know who voted for it. Do you know who voted for it? I didn't. Is it in that link you have? I have to be careful with those because then I can't. Let me see. Let me copy the link. Okay, let's do that. Go here. I want to look it up. That's why. Let me look it up here and see what it says because I am interested. You know, it seems like some things disgust you and it gets worse. It really is sad. It's sad that this is where we are today. It really is. Warren's amendment to desecrate Confederate graves in Arlington now moving forward. Yesterday, the House Appropriations Committee declared next year's Defense Department spending bill known as the NDAA. This is one of the 12 bills necessary to keep the government running. We always keep an eye on legislation because it's considered must pass. Neither political party is willing to block the bill because it would mean every military family would miss a paycheck. This crap has got to stop, my friends. They throw this stuff in there. Well, I don't want to vote for it, but I'm going to. And then what they do is they vote for it. You know, I'm tired of it. Shut the goddamn government down then. Because this is hogwash. And when we have people say, and look, the military, there's got to be a way around this. Let's go get some people who know how to get around it. Let's go get some welfare people that never work in their life and live on welfare or disability who know how to get everything. I'll bet you they can figure a way around this stuff. Democrats have attached a radical amendment to NDAA that they say is designed to rename military bases named after Confederate soldiers. That is what the left claims their amendment does. Except when we finally got a chance to read the language of the amendment, it was clear it was much more. That's usually how it works. They hide this stuff. Section 377 of the National Defense Authorization Act would require that the government remove all names, symbols, displays, monuments, paraphernalia that honor the commemorate of Confederate soldiers. We need to start calling ourselves the United China of America. Or the Communist States of America. You know what? We don't have to be the Communist States of America. Why? Here's what we do. And this is why we're trying to accomplish here is so important. If we can get every damn state to do what they can to get real Republicans elected instead of phonies in our legislatures, that needs to happen. I keep buffering, probably on my end. Sorry. They say it said during the committee. Yeah, we have to start changing what's going on. We just have to. I frankly, I swear, I am so sick of what elected officials have done, and some of them surprise me. And I don't know everything, but now I think, if I'm not mistaken, Trump learned how to do this stuff because sometimes when they pass certain things, I'm buffering a lot. I don't know why. Let me tell you. Oh, I see. 100%. Okay. Here, I'll take care of this real quick here. Let me get rid of these. I don't need these open here. I probably need to get some more memory for my computer. Or just get a better one. My computer is getting old. It's getting old. So let me see if that helps a little bit here. I'm surprised. Let me see. I'll get rid of all this stuff here. And let's see if this helps. Give it a second here, and we'll see. You're going to have to quit your job? All right, let me see. One more here. We'll get rid of that. Now, I don't understand for the life of me why it's buffering. Let me see. See if that's... Let me check something real quick here and make sure that isn't on. Let me check a couple places here and make sure. All right. That should take care of it right there. No more buffering. How's that? Isn't that much better? Oh, somebody did call in. All right. Let's go ahead and call them back. I turned that down here. So let's go ahead and call them back. All right, let's see who we got here. Well, do it again here. All right. Let me... Oh, there you go. They called and I didn't have my volume up, so let's see what they say here. Let's go see what we got here. The Rose. If you did call earlier, hello.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the Super Dave show. I think did somebody try to call me on here?
No, I apologize. No.
You what?
No, I apologize.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Somebody called from there. If I leave my volume up, I'm all right then. I got that. We need to revolt by... Is that better? I'm not buffering now, am I? I shouldn't be. I should be fine. Alrighty, where am I here? Okay. You know, I'll tell you what. I have a feeling that if we did... Yeah, I got rid of a couple things here. If we went ahead and we did the... If 1/10 of the people have voted for Trump was to show up, they wouldn't know what the hell to do with this. And not only that, I'll go a step farther with it. If we went there, I would bet you that most of the military, if not all the military, and the law enforcement would be on our side. Because really, it was we all know it was Antifa that did all their bad behavior on January 6th. And it was funny. I was talking to some people last night, and they go, yeah, Dave, I knew you'd be there for sure. And I said, were you thinking I was going to climb in the wall? And I go, wouldn't surprise me. Because they know for a fact that that I mean everything I say. You know, there's so few people out there, and this is what you got to find out. The phony Republicans, the phony people out there, all they want to do is collect money and power. That's what they want. And if you have, and this is on every level, mind you, if you have people on those levels, and that's all they're doing, I think it's time to get rid of them, don't you? It is time. All right, speaking of time, I'm going to take a break here in a second, and I'm going to play my theme song this time. Wrong one here. So I can take a break because sometimes nature calls, but I'm going to play this and just deal with it. Actually, I'm kind of liking this format better in the long run, but the other one's because I had too many windows open. I wasn't paying attention, so that was my fault. I apologize, but we're going to go ahead and do this. And yeah, last time I did, hold on one second here. So give me a minute. I promise I'll be back. Let me start over here. by the way, they start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I love that part a lot. So, okay, here we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Don't label us left or right. Our American. Not looking for a war, but we came to fight. Our American. Somebody's gotta stand up. Stand up. Somebody's gotta do what's right. We're rising 'cause we're fed up. Got our house in order and got yours in sight. I am American, that's what I am, that's what I say, and what I do. I am American, that's what I am, and I bleed red, white, and blue. And I bleed red, white, and blue. It's not about it's about what's right. Our American. Taking back our country, come and join the fight. Our American. Somebody's gotta stand up. Stand up. Somebody's gotta do what's right. We're rising 'cause we're fed up. Got our house in order and got yours in sight. I am American, that's what I am, that's what I say, and what I do. I am American, that's what I am, and I bleed red, white, and blue. And I bleed red, white, and blue. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I am American, that's what I am, that's what I say, and what I do. I am American, that's what I am, and I bleed red, white, and blue. And I bleed red, white, and blue. And I bleed red, white, and blue.
Alrighty, there you go. The most exciting part of that is when I see the kids get up. So we all have to get up. That's what it amounts to. And there's some people that are, and I applaud you guys so much for joining this. It's just being part of this, because I know a lot of you people really want this too. We just don't have enough, and I don't care. And Alan, I don't know if you're listening, but I hope I wasn't out of line yesterday by what I was saying, because Alan and I are different people. He's got his club, and I've got real Republicans, and we want to do this, and he's got to kind of he's got to work a little bit differently. He's got to slowly get some of these people to start thinking. A lot of it has to do with the fact when you got somebody in charge and they don't care about anybody else, they just, this is the way we do it with the establishment tells me, you're not going to get anywhere. And that, if that works for him, that's great. But he wasn't like that. He really wants to change what's going on in the Republican Party too. So kudos to him. I really do. I respect him so much for doing that. He's a lot more patient than I am. Hell of a lot nicer than I am, that's for sure. So anyway, all right, I'm on his good side now again. But I hope I went out of line there for you because, anyway, the main headline. By the way, when they turned down that yesterday with the Supreme Court, if we had Judge Scalia, who I believe, tell me what you guys think. There are certain people that I believe were murdered. I really believe that Judge Scalia was murdered. I really do. Mr. Means, how you doing? You're right. They want the people. No. They want the people's democracy. They don't want democracy. By the way, I'm with everyone else on this one. I hate the word democracy. I hate it with a passion. Okay, I'm going to look at that. Let me see who we got here. I want to see what people voted with that. Those are the people voted with it? Harold Rogers, Robert, I don't even know these people. John Carter, Ken Calvert, Tom Cole, Steve Womack, Jeff Fortenberry, Fleischman, Butler. Oh, is that the same Butler? No, that's a different one. I don't know. Wait a minute. They're not. Wait, I don't know which ones are Republicans and Democrats. Oh, those are Republicans on the right there. That's in the House. Okay, so that's in the House then. Okay, that's why it doesn't sound familiar. But every one of these people, why did you vote for that? That's what I want to know. Why in the hell did you vote for that? It doesn't make sense. I'm looking at this thing. I don't know any of these senators, but there's 435 House members and a lot of people we don't know. I guess the only thing we can say about it is at least Ann Wagner wasn't in there and she voted for it. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I'm glad you agree with it. Anybody else think I'm a conspiracy nut when I think Anthony Scalia was murdered? I don't think that. I know he was. I know he was murdered. You know, it doesn't make sense when you have this stuff comes up. When this stuff comes up and you're going, wait a minute, how in the world can anyone actually believe the story they told you? And then he's a Supreme Court justice, and they don't do an autopsy, and they go ahead and the cause of death is done over the phone? I bet a lot of people don't even know that. Because he was in a remote place, they talked to somebody on the phone, and the cause of death was a heart attack. And then they had his body cremated. You ever hear of getting rid of the evidence? Happens all the time. I want to know what happened, but we accept that. Isn't it interesting? Remember when we were growing up and we would hear how the Communist Party is and how they kill the they kill the I'm trying not to read your Jim yet. They kill their political enemies. I mean, I know political enemies. One of the people here knows all about it too. There's a gentleman who's a political enemy. He knew he was getting on something, and they made sure he's in jail. They tried to kill him, and they couldn't kill him. They put him in jail. I have a lot of questions on the death. Of course, you hate democracy. You're a proud Republican trying to keep them from voting by denying them a chance. Jim, you're a funny guy. I laugh at him. He has, every once in a while, somebody says, what about him? Is he okay? And I go, he just likes, Jim is the king of absurdity. He just likes to bring it out, so please. No mail vote. Yes, I can't make it there. Why should I show my ID? Hey, wait a minute, I got my government check with me. Oh, you want my ID for my vote? Put that ID back in my pocket. Yeah, found with a pillow over his face. Yes. But he must have. Well, but yeah, okay. We're supposed to believe what they told us. He had a heart attack. And you know what got me is they kept saying he was grossly overweight. If he was grossly overweight, I'm grossly overweight. Scalia wasn't grossly overweight. I can't believe what I hear with these people. Yeah, found with a pillowcase over his face and he was grossly. Every excuse in the world. By the way, that happened during the Obama administration. Can you imagine? Probably the greatest Supreme Court justice in our life. Yeah, when a bullet goes through your brain, you naturally die from that cause. Here's what I want to do. Where are the investigators that went to the place? We never hear this stuff, do we? You know where those investigators are that went there? They're in the same place for those that told us the person's name who shot Ashley Babbitt. Why do we know who shot her? Why? Because it's a secret. It was a murder. They know it was a murder. Isn't it amazing when the gentleman that put his knee on George Floyd's neck, which did not kill him, his name and every other cop's name around there was known right away. They actually didn't kill him. He died of drug problems, but they blamed him for the murder of him, but everybody knew his name. And he was a 4-time or 5-time felon. Denying the dead. You're right. Scalia was a black ops success that will never see the light of day. That's right. Yeah, and it's so sad. Here it is. This is why I got really pissed last night in a way. I didn't get pissed, but I said, why do we need to read more? I don't get that. I couldn't wait to jump on that. It was crazy. Why do we need to read more? That's what I don't get. I think we've done more than our share of reading. I think we've done more than our share of going back and forth with all the things that's happened. Don't you? We just do. Where is it? Naomi, okay. I didn't get as much chance to prepare as I usually do here. Boy, that looks like America for sure. You know what? I got to show this picture. I have to show this picture. It is absolutely. Let me see if I can make it bigger. I can't make it bigger, but I'm going to show you this picture. I'll show you here. Software update. Okay, I want to. Got all these stupid things going on here. I want to show you this picture though. Okay, I'm going to show you this picture real quick here. See this right here? That's what we become. The Nazis are on the left. That's what we become. High stepping it. And if that doesn't scare you, if that isn't big enough reason to get off your butt and do something, then you are the problem. I mean, if you're more concerned about keeping $10 in your account every month so you can have more drinks to drink and the rest of it and not fighting for our country, I question your patriotism. I really do. I question a lot of people's patriotism because you know what happens with the right? We love to say, I'm a patriot. Until it's time to do something. And then when it's time to do something, it's a different story. Oh, yes. It's sad. It really is sad. I just saw that picture and it just, Wow. That's exactly how I feel about it. It's exactly how I feel about it. I feel like we are in the process right now of changing over to a communist government, to a Venezuela. I mean, you get down to it, we really are. And people may say I'm nuts, but look at what happened in Venezuela. Well, isn't that interesting? Oh, yeah. Okay, Jim. Jim says YouTube videos are replacing books. You don't have to read to learn now. And you know what the best part is, Jim? That YouTube takes out the ones that they don't like. I found it so interesting, and I was going. Alan, thank you for letting me go after some of your people yesterday. Alan yesterday, when he was at his meeting, I'm going to bring this up again. Alan, it was a meeting yesterday, at the meeting, I should say, at the Republican Club, was mentioning all the positions that were open that nobody even bothered to file for. And here's something, in case you didn't hear this before. If you're in Jefferson County, well, in Missouri, I don't know how it works in other ones. If you're in Missouri and you want to know who's on the ballot for school board, you want to know who's on it? You have to call them. You can't go. You cannot go to the Jefferson County website and look at the ballot. It's not on there because they don't tell them, or they don't allow them to publish it. And if you want to know who's on the ballot, you got to call the school board up. I'm not school board, but the school administration up, and then they tell you. It's a secret, my friends. What the hell's wrong with that? I did close the picture. Yeah, Ashley Babbitt was a white female veteran, not newsworthy. Yeah, she wasn't a criminal. She wasn't a 4-time felon. She was, actually, she was, didn't she go on 4 tours? So here we go. This is where our country's gone. We have a 4-time felon that gets a funeral fit for a king. Oh, no, wait a minute. I'm sorry. 2 funerals. And then we have a 4-time, we have a person that spends 4 tours defending our country, and what happens? She's not even newsworthy. Okay, let me tell him. I'm doing a show right now, and if you go to superdaveshow.com, click the TV, and you can watch it. Anyway, somebody says, hey, can you talk now? No, I can't. You're right. It fit the progressive narrative. This is why we just can't sit there and be going, well, it's really interesting that nothing's happening. Oh, you know what? I got to fix something here because I can't. My phone isn't going to be working. Darn it. I closed one of them, but I didn't have to close that one, but I did. I'll fix it real quick. Won't take but a minute. Because I know people do call sometimes. So let's just make sure we get that squared away, and we'll catch up. Newsworthy. I just don't know what I really don't know what people need to really be excited to do something. That's my biggest concern. Why is it that it's such a big deal? All right, people call in. They can call in now. Okay. Turn my volume or I can hear it. We'll be in good shape. 3 funerals. Ashley Babbitt, we don't even know what happened to her. I mean, really, that's a veteran. Oh, but she was trying to break in the Capitol. Yeah. Do we kill the people that were breaking into buildings before? Oh, but that was the Capitol. That was the people's house. Well, guess what? The people were trying to get in. They were trying to be heard. And to tell you the truth, I'm not so sure she was climbing in a window. So I said, let's go ahead and shoot the gal. Something isn't right here. You know what? I'll tell you the truth. I really don't know what to believe of that whole thing. And I was there. And I wasn't there when all that stuff happened. But I really don't know what to think. And if you are someone watching this show right now and you have more, you have more than information than I do, please let me know. Yes, re-education camps are coming for you conspiracy theorists. That's okay, Jim, because Republicans will kick back and say, I'm tough. I'll stay home. I was talking to a friend of mine about that yesterday. And if the government wants you and you have a few guns in your house and you think you have a chance, one shot, but if you get the right people there, they can blow your house up in a heartbeat. They don't even have to come to your house. All they have to do is drop it. The bombs they have right now are they're so good. So if you really think that sitting at home and being tough is going to get you somewhere, you have another thing. Well, they can come and get my gun. They can, and they will. They will. And you can fight. I'll die trying. Yes, you will. Because if you think for one second that you actually have something going, yes. In the memorial service, friends describe her as an outgoing, loving, passionate, patriotic. That was her crime. That was her crime. She was a patriot. On Saturday, February 13th, the Babbitt family held a memorial service to honor Ashley Babbitt, the alleged Trump supporter who died on the day of the Capitol riots on January 6th. San Diego resident had traveled to Washington, D.C., especially for the protests that resulted in the deaths of 5 people, which is garbage. So let me ask you, how many people have been in something and a whole bunch of people died and they blame it on what happened there? Only in America. But even as many got together to pay their respects, many took to social media to know the identity to know the identity, and you can't find it. Babbitt was one of hundreds of MAGA supporters who had barged in the, who wrote this garbage? According to the Gateway pundit, those closest to her described her as outgoing, where he said that. Let's put it this way. That woman was trashed. In fact, you know what? In the St. Louis media here, when they mentioned that, the very same people that were defending the felons that fought with the police and they shot them dead, those same people were calling her garbage, trash. She got what she deserved. She defended our freedoms. And these leftist nutcases, by the way, being taught in your wonderful school systems that you seem to not care about, I'm going to put a challenge to everyone here. You find out who the hell is running for your school board. Make sure you do everything you can to help them get elected. Now, you may not take over school board right away, but I guarantee you, if they're a member of Real Republicans, we're going to be on them like you don't know what happened. And the ones we have right now, that I think they're very strong individuals, and I think they're going to stand up for what we all believe in. New York Times, Miss Babbitt had celebrated Mr. Trump. Isn't it funny? Oh, and QAnon conspiracy theories, and her shooting instantly made her a martyr. Isn't it interesting? The New York Times, they know everything. When I was there, I wish a New York Times reporter would be here. When I was there, I have to tell you, I met some of the most patriotic people I've ever met in my life. People were hurting. They were hurting because they know for a fact that they just got screwed over. They know that. They got screwed over in the election. And then we get screwed over by the very Republicans that we thought we had confidence. Well, I didn't have confidence in. Some people had confidence in. And those same Republicans that voted to impeach, the president, did stand behind the whole thing. What are they doing? They're going along like everything's okay. They get mad at the states for censoring them. Big deal. They don't care. See, this is what I've told people all along. Stop thinking the phonies give a damn. And so I'll go back to what I said. Why would you vote for somebody that doesn't give a damn about you? Why? Why would you do that? Oh, well, they fought that fight. They sold you down the river, and because they do a few good things. And I gotta do something else here too, though. For you people out there, and I hope if you're one of them, you may want to turn this off. For you people out there that are yelling, we want a third party, we want a third party, I would guarantee you that 99% of those people wouldn't do anything for a third party, just like they don't do anything for our party. Right now, we have a chance to reclaim our party and get rid of the knuckleheads we have in there, the treasonous people we have in there. And we can't even get people to show up. We have so much that we can do. And we can't get people to, so when they started, we had a gentleman there, nice guy. We had a gentleman there, and he was like, I am not going to do anything with the Republican Party. I said, well, good luck. I've never seen the gentleman before. No offense to him. I hope he becomes an active member. I've never seen him before. And if you're one of those people that have never helped the party to begin with, but you want to trash the party that you've never helped with, maybe one of the reasons why we have the problems is because you haven't. I'm not frozen now. I guarantee. I'm not frozen this time. Well, let me do this. Get rid of that one first. I got rid of the ones I don't need so much. Fixed. There you go. I got rid of one of the... I don't know why it's doing that. But anyway, that's my problem. So if for those of you out there that are telling me and others, the ones that have tried our best to do things without the help that you could have given us, we may not be in this place to begin with. You may not like... look, I don't like what these people did, but you know what? It wasn't the party. 75 million Republicans voted for him. But they also voted for the dumbasses that are causing the problems to begin with. So those people didn't get there by osmosis. They got there because you people voted for him. Don't blame me. Well, I don't like it. Well, you know what? You don't have to. Then you go back to where you came from, and I'm not trying to be hard here. And if you're that person, you're watching the show and you're getting mad, get mad at yourself, because what have you done for me lately? What excuses have you made? And I'm being honest with you. If you haven't, let me know. But what excuses have you made for not doing anything? You cannot get mad at someone for doing what we do and then say, well, those other guys. So what are we going to do? Invent a new party every 5 years? How about we clean the damn thing up? That's all we got to do. Look, we were all pissed off at first. These damn Republicans. But you know what? I got my brain back after the emotion. The emotion is what's getting us. If you're being emotional, you would make a fine, fine Democrat. We have a lot of them out there, don't we? We got a lot of Republicans that say they're Republicans, but they're emotional. Let's go to common sense. Let's talk about what have you done? What will you do? Showing up at a meeting, I'm sorry, showing up at a meeting or going on Real Republicans and playing games on there accomplishes nothing. Well, I'm doing this. Well, I'm going to let you know, because I'm not a nice guy, I'm going to let you know right up front what is good and what is not good. And you may not like it, but oh well. That's where we are with this. And if all we can do, honestly, God, if all we can do is spend our time complaining what other people aren't doing, when you yourself aren't doing something, we get nowhere. I know you've heard this 1,000 times. There are certain people I know that are watching right now that don't want us to do it. They want us to leave. See, this is the key. This is what a lot of people don't understand. You're right. Doing nothing is what people do best. They show up at a protest once and they think they've done their civic duty. I've been to many protests, my friends. I get invited to protests, and I do what I can. I've driven good distances for some of them. I can't attend all of them, and just because you attend one doesn't make you a scholar here. What are you doing after you get there? If you're so pissed off, what are you going to do about it? I don't know about you people. When I get pissed, I try to find a solution. I really do. Because if all I can do is just get pissed, that's emotion. Getting pissed is emotion. Use the brain you're born with and try to figure out what you can do differently. Yeah, we're far-right activists, aren't we? According to my former state representative, I'm a far-right guy. Coming from progressive, I'll take that every day of the week. Somebody asked me one day not too long ago, says, aren't you concerned that there's a lot of politicians in your county that don't like me? That don't like you? And I said, then they should quit. They should quit. I want them to quit. But here's the problem we got, friends. Who out there is going to stand up and say, I'll be the next county executive? We got some really smart people in our county, every county. Why do we have the dumbasses in charge? Why do we have people? I mean, honestly, God, how many of you people have ever been to something and you're going, how'd that guy get in charge? And by the way, it's not the way they dress. Oh, don't be fooled by that. Well, if he was really the county executive, he would dress like one. Let me give you a long list of people who dress like a county executive. And you tell me how much you want them. It's not what people look like. It's what people do. And it's all about, that's what it's all about. And Carl, I mean, saying that is doing nothing is what, I'm going to change your word from some people to most people. Doing nothing is what most people do best. I think Facebook has given them an excuse not to do anything a lot of times. A lot of them will say, with this show, they go, well, I'm not going to watch it for 2 hours. I got stuff to do. I can go on Facebook and I can move this to here, and I can tell somebody that and this. And then people like myself and other administrators have to go in there, and we get to approve the posts. A lot of times I'm so pissed off, if I know that they haven't given a penny, I just decline them. I don't care. And it's not about the money. It's about the fact that all I want to do is play Facebook, and I don't want to do that. And some of you people know who you are, and if you get your post declined, then you better start thinking about it. Maybe we should have a membership. To be here, you have to be a membership. Maybe that's what it should be. At least that way people would feel like they're in. It's sad. It really is. And I'm not going to be. Hey, let me see. 60. Ronnie, how would I do as a general? There's a my friend Jason says you would make a great general, Dave. He goes, you don't put anybody's crap. You set the rules and you follow them, and you're an example. And you don't hold back. So I just wonder what people think. People in the military would think. Maybe I missed my calling. Isn't that interesting? In '68, that's a really good thought. In 1968, and by the way, a lot of us were on the Martin Luther King train. We were on it. And by the way, the Democrats were in charge. And the useless Republicans. Anyway, they were in charge. They had no problem killing people, did they? They still don't in different ways. But in '68, I went to protest about segregation. Now blacks want segregated dorms and colleges. So the very easy question to that is, what? What do you think of this one? What do you think if we had white segregated dorms? How about that one? You remember when they went to dorms where they got men and women in there? Remember that? And people freaked out. You can't do that. Look, let's not kid anybody. There's a lot of stuff going on, if you like it or not. In fact, let me go to colleges for a minute. Let me bash colleges for a little bit. Now, some people actually go there for the right reasons, because there's something that they're interested in, they want to learn, doctor, whatever, okay? But let's not kid anybody here. Most people that go to college go there because mommy and daddy is paying their way. And if you think most of them have an interest in really learning when they're there the first year, you want to let me know. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to ask you a question, too. I'm glad you're here. But I'll go back to colleges, and I'll get to you in a second here. Some of my best alcoholic friends learned their trade of alcoholism in college. That's what it was all about. Not a fan of general officers, might make a good command sergeant major. Well, I just meant somebody in charge, because I probably been a good drill sergeant. So you're right, probably right at that. All right, Mr. Sunray Minor. He's from Australia. First of all, what the hell are you doing with a mask on? Okay, my question to you is, don't you have gun control there now? And how is that working out? And after you answer that one, I have another one for you. I'll ask you this now because I won't forget, because I will. How is your country, I read a story earlier, but how's your country dealing with the censorship of the tech giants? I'll wait for your response. I'll wait for your response and we'll see. I'm just curious. Any club that would have me as a member is not worth joining. I got to tell you something. The comedians from the early comedians were by far the best comedians. There are a few good comedians left, not many. The comedians today think that the reason they are funny is because they can use a lot of filth in their acts, and honestly, I don't mind a little bit sometimes, but some of them are so pathetic. And actually, I'll tell you one that hasn't done it is Jerry Seinfeld. He actually has a clean act, and a few others do, but there's a few of them. Oh, you want a sandstorm and share that? Yes, the gun thing is a what? A rort? That's a word I'm not familiar with. Anybody else know what that word is? I don't know. Because you have gun control there, right? I mean, you and I don't know exactly what your laws are. Maybe you can describe what they are, but because we know what happened in Venezuela, and I hate to see it in Australia. That's one place I've always wanted to go is Australia. And I don't know. Do you have to wear masks there? 30% of college freshmen drop out after their first year at college. Yeah, because they're already drunks by then. That's why. I mean, really, some of my best friends, seriously, they are huge alcoholics. They are, and they learned it in college. When they were in college, I was working. Yeah, in fact, I'm a believer. I'll tell you right now, I think most people should never go to college right after high school. You know what, though, Ronnie? He says less than 2/3 will graduate with a degree. Even even that third that does get a degree, most of them don't even use the degree they have for the vocation they take. Most of them. I got a friend that's got 2 masters in business, and he's never used them for anything he's done, ever. And he's got a degree in electronic engineering, and he worked for did work for for Boeing, not Boeing, for McDonnell Douglas before Boeing bought him out, and he used that for what he did there. But when he left there, he never used his 2 master's degrees for anything. He went to school, and that's what he did. It's really interesting. But most people leave there. Now, for those of you out there listening that don't know much about what's going on, if you want a really good job, let me tell you right now, you could get a job in America as a plumber, carpenter, and the rest of them. They are dying. I left a business a couple weeks ago that I have to visit soon, and he was telling me, he says, I can't find good help. He goes, we start out with pretty good money. It gets better. Oh, Rort is a scam. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Guns are rigidly controlled. Certainly almost impossible in the city, but where I live in the north, farmers and sports shooters can own. Oh, so your gun control has nothing to do with protecting yourself like the Second Amendment here, and it's all about sports. I did see, and thank you for that explanation, Reuters is a scam. I did see where some of the people there said, I'll bet you 10-1, by the way, that the criminals still have guns, don't they? I remember watching a video of some people in Australia where they were saying the criminals just walked in with the guns. There wasn't anything they could do because they had no way to defend themselves. I'll tell you what, there's one thing it's a God-given right, is to be able to protect yourself. To able to protect yourself is everything. And if you can't protect yourself and your family, you have nothing. And if you expect the government to protect you, you have bought the Kool-Aid. Look at how the government protects all those communist people in China. Do what we say or you won't be around for the next day. It's that simple. We'll put you in a prison. We'll do this. That's where we're headed. But no, we got to read more. I'm not attacking my friend. Oh, there's a good read. There's a good read. Well, I'll tell you what. While everybody's reading, we're getting our asses kicked. It's time to start doing. We don't need to read anymore. When I heard that, I almost lost it. I didn't complete my college degree until after I retired from Army. BS, bullshit in management communications. Okay. Hey, for a BS, that's what it is a lot of times. Wendy, when she went to work at Wells Fargo to make her resume look better, which is crazy, she got her BS in something. I don't know. She got a degree in something, bachelor's or whatever in something. All I know, she got her bachelor's degree in something. She'll probably tell me. But when she did, it didn't mean a damn thing for the job she got. She had to do it to get in the door. And I think I'm a pretty smart guy. I don't have a degree. You can easily tell that, right? But I don't have a degree. So what's going on? I don't get it. crocodile. Oh, Jim's having a discussion here with Sunray. See, we have somebody from Australia. That's awesome. That's really awesome. I think we're picking up a few from D Live here because they're starting to understand. You know, and for you other people at D Live that may be watching this right now and you're going, this guy's crazy. Let me tell you something. I don't like politicians. I don't. I like statesmen. I like someone that works for us. I'm not a fan of big government because big government, all they want to do is take your money and then control you with that very money that they've taken from you. You're having quite a discussion here. How interesting. Hey, you know what? I want to say this about Australia. I remember seeing the video of years ago of the mice infestation you had and how some of the environmentalists that you have there didn't want to kill the mice. So people would open up, I mean, they go everywhere. There was mice, billions of mice. Am I right? I remember seeing the video. Of course, it was a video, but they were showing how mice were everywhere. You couldn't go anywhere in your house, anywhere. Didn't make a difference. There were mice everywhere. I'm having fun looking at your discussion there. But anyway, all right. There was something else I did want to talk about. I'm a little nervous about opening something else up, but I'm going to do my best. Give me a second. If it starts jumping up, if it starts freezing, just let me know. I'll fix that as time goes on. You know, I got to give Trump credit for something. He's going to CPAC. If you think he's going to CPAC and kiss up to the people, nope. I see it going up to 100%. I shut it down. If he's going to CPAC, you think he's going to go there and just kiss up to the people that stabbed them back? He will never do that. One of my favorite customers, I love going to see him. He grew up in that era. Well, I actually use it right now anyway. You didn't know that. I have been using it for a while. When I do, the question was, is D Live going to be the platform used right now? Right now, I don't have a choice, and I will go back and be using Facebook when I'm finally out. But I have been using it because what I do is I have this software, and I use something called Restream, and Restream goes to a whole bunch of platforms, is what it amounts to. So, kangaroos are bloody pests too, and they didn't want them shot until they invented. It's funny. Isn't that funny? We have the same thing with deer because they saw the movie Bambi. Oh, don't shoot Bambi. Until they get in their flowers. And then here's what they want. Bambi reproduces pretty quickly. They get in the rich liberals' gardens and their flower areas, where they want to look nice, and they go eat the flowers. And the rich liberals say, well, somebody in government, because that's all they do. Rich liberals love government. Somebody in government needs to have somebody come in here and capture them and put them somewhere else. That's how a lefty works it. It is. I'm looking forward to CPAC too. I'm looking forward. By the way, and I'm looking forward to CPAC. I can't wait to hear what Trump says. And then Trump is supposed to do something else. I couldn't read it because of something else. Maybe I can go up there and see it real quick. There's different places I can do this. Let me go to. Give me 1 second here. There it is. I could do it up here and it won't affect the show. Why didn't I do that to begin with? Because sometimes when you're doing this, you don't think of everything. That's how it works. Trump is going to attend the RNC Spring Donor Summit after the party turned on him. And the question is why? Because I think he wants to get in their face and let the... wouldn't it be cool if Trump goes there and he says, thank you for inviting me and everything, and all you people out there to stab me in the back, I had 75 million people vote for me, and we're going to do everything we can to replace you. That would be juicy as anything I've ever heard. That's in April. So we're going to see. I think it's going to be interesting. Trump is not going back down. He's not going to. Isn't it funny how we have these connections? And by the way, Carl, you're right. Bambi tastes good if kept rare. I got to tell you something about deer. So for those of you that don't want deer served as food, oh well. The best chili I ever had in my life had deer meat in it. It was absolutely the best. But hey, Sunray, I'm glad you're here. I really am. I love to learn about other countries, how they're doing and what they do. You know what I would love to have? If you know of anybody in Venezuela, I'm dead serious about this. Anybody in Venezuela that can come on this show, I would love to hear from them. I would, in fact, I'm gonna go a step farther. If you know of anybody that lived in a communist country or so whatever, where their country was taken over by government, run by government, I want you to come on this show. Well, that's because he's a turncoat. I'm saying that to Ronnie. He said Pence turned down an invitation to CPAC. Yeah, that's because he's a turncoat. That's why. But if you people think that'll work out, I think that'd be great. So if you know of anybody, you know what? It's too bad I can't get a hold of some of those people I had because some of the people from the CCP, which would be China, Communist China, they were devastated. When I interview, maybe I can find those interviews somewhere if they didn't get rid of them. They were devastated that the United States is going so communist right now. It was just sad, and they were. I mean, I actually saw some of them crying. It's like that's why we left. That's why we left, and that's why we have to change what's going on. So, for all you people out there, but if you know of anybody right now, send them my way. I would appreciate it. I would love to go on Facebook and ask that, but I can't even do that right now. But I do have a way of working it out. So if you go on, by the way, right now, if you go on my page, you will have the link to DLive in case you don't know, or if you happen to be on MeWe, Gab, and Parler, we'll do that. And does anybody know how to do a group in Parler? Do they do groups? I was telling people we had a group in all of them, and I forgot we didn't have a group in Parler. So I need to put a group in Parler for real Republicans. But the problem is we have so many darn platforms, it's just amazing. We can't keep up. So my Australian friend here says, I served 12 years. They did contract work overseas, hence my Sahara Desert pick. When I came back, oh, God. You know what we feel like that, don't you? He says, when I came back, Australia felt like a damn girls' club. You got it. Hey, Sunray, let me ask you this question. This is what's happened in America. The feminization, I don't call them men, I call them males. By the way, we only have two genders. Well, according to me, we have two genders. According to the left, we got all kinds of them. I guess you got the same problem there. See, the left is taking over big time. Big time. And I got some, man, I'd love to have you on the show sometime, ask you some questions, because one of the questions I have too is, do you find that most of the people that agree with you, it sounds like you're a lot like us, do you find that most people agree with you are lazy? I mean, they just don't do what they need to do, and that's why you are where you are? Venezuela is cool, but my Spanish is muy bien. Okay, all right. I did that. I took Spanish in high school. I could count. That's about it. Como se llama? I could do that one. How about that one? Anyway, well, my friends, we're running out of time here. Nice to meet you there, Sunray. He stays up late. What time is it there anyway? Did you say it's like 1 in the morning or something like that? 1 or 2 in the morning? That's pretty wild. It really is. It's sick, Dave. If you're masculine, the lefties want to label you as misogynist or a Nazi or supremacist. You got the same problem we got. Hey, I'll bet you agree with this. Because of the weakness of conservatives, the weakness of the people that say they care so much, is exactly why the left is. The left, look, my friends, the left are stronger people than we are. Because they actually get off their asses and do things. Until we do it, we're done. We are done. And you've got someone here, same thing. It's sick. It makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah, last night, a judge, and I said this earlier, and I'll repeat it. A judge in our county, he doesn't want confrontation. I said, you're a judge. He was putting his stupid mask on. I couldn't believe it. He's put his mask on. Jeff, I like you. You're a nice guy. Stop it. Yeah, the pussification of American males. You got it. And they've got their same problem in Australia and so many other countries. I know they've had it in England for a long time. But it's like what Sunray said. If you are a real man, then you're a white supremacist. You're a Nazi. Oh, I love that. And you're black? We have that here too. I didn't even read that part. So Sunray's a black. Now, Sunray, now you listen to this show. Do I sound like a racist to you? Crime, people who commit criminals deserve to be in jail or executed, whatever it takes to make sure they'll never bother anybody again. I couldn't care less if they're black and white. I really couldn't care. In fact, I would tell you right now, I use this scenario because if I say percentages, now I'll go through this and you don't have to like it, but I'm going to say what I say. In America, percentage-wise, the highest amount of violent crime, percentage-wise, is done by black males. They just are. The reason for that is because the left said, we don't need fathers in those homes. We'll take care of you. That's really where it all starts. The highest percentage of pedophiles are white males. I have no problem with every pedophile. You can start at the top, if you get my drift, and slitting their throat and giving them to the animals. I have no problem with that. In fact, any stupid white male that does this, I want you dead. I don't care. And you embarrass me as a white male. You really do. So I don't care. It upsets me too because I have a lot of, you know what? And you know what I'm saying? I could say I have a lot of black friends. See, you have to admit that. It's like, look, there's no answer to these people. And that's why you don't even answer them. I used to say, I got a lot of black friends. It's like, yeah, but she had to call them by color. They're the ones that call them by color all the time because they say, do you have any black friends? Yeah. See, you have, but you don't have them like I do. I grew up in a black area, with a mixed area. I don't care. Everybody's a person. I don't care. I don't like thieves. I don't like criminals. I don't like liberals. I don't like liberals. Slim Reaper. All right. You're a new one. We're getting new people. You know why I think D-Live's going to work out great for us in many ways. I really do. Take care. That's one of my very good friends that I've learned to love here. We really got some really good people. I love seeing you, and I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to check out here pretty soon anyway. But I'm enjoying the new people that are here. It's really exciting because I love to get people throughout the world. I think it's great. One of my favorite ones, and I wish I knew how to get a hold of him. My favorite ones was from the Netherlands, and he used to listen to my radio show all the time, and he was great. I mean, he had so many things he'd tell us, and from his country, he actually taught me a lot about what was going on in the Netherlands and how bad it was sometimes. So it was quite interesting. I really enjoyed that. So anyway, well, exactly right. It is here too, because then I don't know what they call them there. They call them Uncle Toms here. Yeah, if they don't know, they have no idea what Uncle Tom is anyway. But they are. And let me ask you this then: are they taught this in the schools? Do you have a very liberal school system like we do? And what we're doing here, by the way, and I have to tell you one thing that was so cool last night at the Republican Club meeting is that when they announced and when these people got up, they applauded the very people we got in to run for them, for these offices. Did anybody in his club do it? No. These are people not even in the damn club. That's the whole point. We got these 3 people involved. They got nobody involved. And Alan, you know I'm right. They're all saying, that's really nice. Yeah. Whatever. That's what they do. It's sad as hell. So, until Republicans get off, and it's just it, these are new people. There's a lot of new people out there, and that's who I want. I don't want the losers that have been there forever that know the system. We don't want you, Derek Good. We don't want you. That's it. He had to sit way away from me last night, and I don't give a damn. He's also, in our county, I'm going to mention this, Derek Good is the secretary of the Missouri GOP. Hey. He's a sellout. He's a political whore is what he is. And he is the reason, one of the reasons why we have so many problems. Did he volunteer? No, he wants to be in charge. Well, I take it back. He did try to run for school board, but they turned him away. I guess because they knew who he was. I don't know. All I know is that we're going to change things, and we're doing it. So I'm waiting a little bit longer here, then we're going to check out. But tell everybody where to go. Pass it along, D-Live. I didn't do it the other way. Okay, not sure about the schools, my man. I've been traveling the world shooting bad guys for a long time, but the universities, oh yeah. Well, the universities, no doubt about it, they're commies here. In fact, I tell people, don't send your kids to college unless they're really going there for a reason. Otherwise, they become socialist drunks is what they become. That's what they become. When I see some of the things, and I'm going to play some of these, maybe I'll play them tomorrow, some of these little excerpts of some of these people that go to colleges, and there's, can't think of the guy's name offhand, I'll think of it, that interviews college people. And they don't have a clue where the hell they are. I mean, they it's like, what year was the Declaration of Independence? Wasn't that like 1928? You're going, what? Now, it's not important we know what year it was. It's nice to know. It's not a big deal. But you know what's really important is what's in it. They don't know. They don't even realize, I swear to you, most people don't even realize there was a Revolutionary War. They think that they put the document out there and all of a sudden England said, okay, it's all yours. They don't realize that the very people. Oh, I didn't know this. Sunray Minor is a military call sign. Interesting. I like that. I'm glad you're joining us. I really am. It's exciting. Like I said, I love learning about other countries. I think it's awesome. I really do. So, well, all right, everybody. I think we've done enough damage for one day. I'll be back tomorrow. Tell your friends, everybody. Give them the link to D-Link and Super Dave's show, however I do it up there, and tell them to watch. And there's other people will learn, because today we had people. We got Sunray. We got a veteran who's Ronnie, a friend of mine. He's a veteran. Other veterans. People, Jim Means, he's not a veteran, but he's familiar with Australia. It's really cool to see that, because then we know if we're like minds. It makes a difference. It really does. Well, you guys keep talking here. I'm going to hit the road. I have things and places and business to run. So thank you so much for listening, and I will see you tomorrow.
You can't quit. And why not? Well, you're fired.
You can't fire him.
Why not?
He quit.
Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is! Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
German? Forget it, he's rolling.
It ain't over now! Cause when the going gets tough,